Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL Milan.
Let's watch.
Here we go again. Back at it. Picture pile up right around the corner. How you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm ready to pot tonight.
Dude, you gotta lower the brightness on your shit. This is video pod. You look like a fucking camera flash. You look like fucking what's his name on Watford.
How's this?
You look incredible now. No. Too soon. What's the guy on Watford?
Well, he is.
Thank you.
Never forget.
So what's up, brother? How'd you do this week?
Got 51 points, no big deal. Captain outscored vice captain, so that's a success. Didn't hit average,
True.
not a success. Some good, some bad, más o menos. Come see, come sa, as they say.
Yeah.
Lamptey, Target, Grealish started me off real strong there. And it was all medium hill from there. You know what I'm saying, bruh?
Yeah, 0 from 3 is pretty incredible. Technically 4 because you have Keenan buried on your bench.
Well, we don't have to mention that. But yeah, the 0 from 3 kicking me off on the weekend was rough.
Yeah.
But, everything's fine. We're having fun. We're playing the game, and that's what's going on here.
So Dallas is second on your bench with a 5-pointer.
Yeah, so what? No big deal.
We need to drastically change our Arsenal evaluation to being...
Well, let's hold on. Hang on. How'd you do this week?
Thing.
I know, but you're taking off the... You know what I'm saying. Do you need me to do a little bit of this?
It's fine. Oh, God. I can't even look at you. How'd
you do? -8.
Yeah. So I got 50, but I took a -8, so putrid 42. Big, a fat red arrow for me. I'm catching up to you in the wrong direction, but I'm catching up to you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything falls at the same speed, right? But I don't know.
No, that's not right.
Well, in a vacuum, they do, but there's air interference here. But, game week ranked 4.9 mil, down 600K, 2.7 mil overall. Really bad. I mean, DCL 13, Bruno 11. Well, I should say I brought in Bruno, Kilman, Kev for Mo, Trent, Foden. I actually netted 6 points there, which is kind of funny because...
With the 8.
I netted 6.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because we said 1, and then neither of my other guys played.
Yeah. Okay.
So DCL 13, Bruno 11, Consa 8 bailed me out hardcore. But then I had 2 1-pointers, including Captain Jack. I had 3 2-pointers, and I had a 0-pointer in
Diash. And it wasn't even Target.
It wasn't even Target, so it's actually my most expensive premium defender. So joke's on me.
It was kind of that weekend of what could have been on the other side of the coin, right? Like if Jesus doesn't block Kevin's goal.
Oh my God.
Werner did things and James did things.
Yeah, Werner could have hauled. Jack really should have had a return in that first half. Even
Jack
just an assist. I'm not even being
Jack
greedy.
Villa, we'll get there. All right. So the weekend's in the books. It was just another one,
Yeah, it was bad. Bad.
Okay.
We are who we are. Shout out to Melville Prize Releases Mug League. The leaders for November so far: Corbin, aka Chill FC, Jonathan Hanks, aka Bloke FC, and Nemanja Veletic with this team name. Never pick Sterling. Okay.
Oh,
I really
personal attack.
Really
Hate
Who is that? See that Nemanja Veletic.
Is that the public league?
No, he's third place in the Mug League.
Okay, so we'll just ban him. Whoever gets fourth place gets.
They'll just send him the third place mug. If he wins, it'll just be little Raz emojis all over it.
Raz.
Honestly, shout out to the leader of the FMLFPL Public League, Henrik Wilkins, aka Wilkins at the wheel. Good job by you. All right, bro. Somewhere you want to begin? I mean,
There's a lot to talk about, a lot of fun things, I think, this weekend. But you I think, teased a little bit with Arsenal. So this was the thing, right? We've been talking about behind the scenes. How can we upside down our pod a little bit because there's fucking 75 pods and,
in the
we're
world.
bad at the game, but what we're good at is evaluating the game.
Yeah,
evaluating
we're
the
bad
IRL
at managing our
games.
teams, but
Fine.
we're good
That's
at
what I mean.
seeing the things.
Yeah. So, you listen to this pod, that pod, this thing over here, thing over there. Everyone talks about our city, good. Are they going to be good in the upcoming It's like, okay, cool.
Sneak preview to half of our questions.
Whatever.
This week.
It's
Okay.
and we're not obviously the kind of guys that dissect the table and say, well, when Rodri played and now he doesn't this and that, it's like, okay, cool, guys. Like, you can find that elsewhere. But we're talking about trying to find some, lesser heralded storylines. And I think we both were talking about Arsenal a lot and just looking at them and gravitating towards, what are they? What do we make of them?
I think part of this comes from the fact that, Peacock has drastically changed our viewing experience, as has
Peacock
COVID.
Farrell, Pope's backup.
Yeah, exactly. And now all the matches are separately, there's no overlapping matches anymore. So we watch 20 hours of football every week. And
I haven't watched less than 8 games a week since the season
literally
started.
So 16 hours minimum a week. It's fucking bonkers. And
we've never been doing worse at FPL.
Oh yeah, horrible.
That's good.
But we
That's a good
watch a
correlation.
lot together, which is something that we've never done because we're streaming and we're behind, and so we just talk to each other. And so I think we find ourselves we talk about shit while we're watching, and this was something that we were talking about. So what I was going to say is,
go ahead.
with Dallas, right? I think both of us see Arsenal fixture and we're like, okay, bench, and with all your other guys, second on the bench
it's the historical.
Yeah, they have a lot of really good players still, and we both kind of like Arteta, and it's like, it makes sense. We see the red, and we're like, yeah, Arsenal, Arscast. But they're now one of the most bankable clean sheets in the league. They haven't scored an open play since game week 5, I think, or 4 maybe. And since that time, the bottom 5 teams in the league in non-penalty XG in order are West Brom, Newcastle, Sheffield United, Arsenal, and Burnley. And that's where they are. That's the teams they're in and around.
Should be viewed in that light, and unless shown otherwise, right? And, I think it's an interesting case because, like you mentioned, they do have good names, names on paper that shouldn't be scoring 1 goal in 7 matches in open play in the Premier League. But, it's sort of similar when I got Leno in, right, a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about that, and it's watching how Arteta sets them up to defend first, clean sheet first, points, goals second or third or fourth. I don't know where they are on the list. But, you like the defense there because he's got, they're playing more reserve. They're playing with 2 or 3 DMs or 2 or 3 center backs sometimes. Like, they're playing with the extra defender there.
And again, good players. Good DMs, good defenders, good goalkeeper.
Elneny iffy, but Partey in, he does a job, and Ceballos and Shock, they're just defensive. They're a defensive team. And we kind of talked about Atletico Madrid kind of mold of, attacking with 2 or 3, and that's going to get them out of jail, and they're going to win a lot of 1-0s and 2-1s, and that's kind of what I was thinking that they would that he was trying to get them going towards. The striker position is a huge problem. We've been watching Laka. He's been putting up really bad performances for his past handful of starts. And the team he played against Leeds, we were both really excited about, right? He's got finally not too many defenders. Obs down the middle, like your best goal scorer playing in a position where he could actually score goals, playing with a couple wingers and all this and that. And the red card kind of puts it upside down. Yeah. But even before though, right, the first half, they had no shots on target and they didn't create anything. And it was just like, what is happening? It's so like he puts Willock in for his first fucking minutes in the Premier League. Like that's, and Saka on the bench, right? It's still very disjointed, but
Saka, who had their by far best chance of the game with that worldly pass from Bellerin.
Right. I still feel, though, I mean, if this is a sign of things to come, Obbs he's now 11-6. If he's going to start playing in the middle, I think he's a pick. I honestly believe that because
I mean, yeah, he had 3 shots, which is more than he's had like basically the rest of the season combined. It's like,
and I mean, there was the pen that wasn't given that looked pretty good,
right,
a pretty good pen
the
shout.
handball.
I understand he's very expensive, right? But this is, we're not buying, yesterday's points. Like, just because Kane has fucking 70 points this year doesn't mean he's going to get 70 points in the next 7 games. But if Obbs is an out of position, on pens, really good player, like if they do start to click a little bit, I don't think that he should be completely written off. I think that that's something to just remember, that he's there and exists, because playing striker, right? I mean, give me one. If they have one good game where he's striker and he scores or whatever, like that's interesting again.
Right. Yeah. Wolves.
The fixtures aren't great.
Yeah, but like, Wolves haven't been great either. He could, if he shoots 4 times and gets a goal or something, plays down the middle. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little bit interested in Obbs, honestly. I am.
Right. I need to see it before I get interested.
See it, yeah. So the other thing we were talking about too is Martinelli, right? Like Martinelli came back. So Avi Pepe is going to be on the naughty step for a while. And Saka, Willian was also diabolical before he got subbed with a quote-unquote muscle injury. I don't know what that was, but he was so bad in the first half. But Martinelli came back into training, and he's a player that I think we both like a lot, right? He's a 4-9 mid.
He's not even in the game, is he?
Yeah, he's on the second page because they have so many players. But he's you got to forget.
4-9 mid. Wow.
Yeah, he's with Guendouzi and Smith Rowe on the second page of the Arsenal page.
Love that.
He's a player, right? Like he came in last year and he played a couple games as striker. Like he scored a couple goals and he had like a couple starts and scored
Chelsea
both.
goal where he ran the full length of the pitch.
Yeah. He's a good player. He's a good player. And as these flags mount, red cards mount, bad performances mount, the names get thinner. And Martinelli's just interesting to me. I feel like he's a really interesting, good player. Yep. And he could be a good actual FPL pick, I think.
I think so too.
I just think, and the defense is still good, Yeah,
like
the defense is still really good.
They're all still good picks. Yeah,
they got bailed out by the post a few times, but
Leeds are also very explosive and hard to clean. Yeah. It's not like
it's just. I guess it's the thing with Arsenal. It's. I mean, we're kind of talking out of two sides of our mouth because we're like, yeah, they're the worst fucking attack ever, and I'm like, yeah, you should not forget about their 11-6 attack.
No, but that makes sense. They're the worst attack now.
Now.
But we know that we know who Aubameyang is and what they
he scores 20 goals every year.
What they could be. So it's just worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, he scores 20 goals. He's every fucking year.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with Arsenal, right? Is an interesting thing to me in the FPL community, whatever the fuck thing is, right? No one talks about Arsenal all year, really, right? After game week 2, Arsenal's been like redheaded stepchild. Like they kind of bad, kind of good. What are they? We don't know what to make of them, whatever. But I don't know. I just think that they're interesting. I think they're just an interesting outfit.
Their defense is definitely being overlooked, which is good now. Like the attack is maybe, but the defense is good now. I mean, Bellerin gets max bones. He was really, really good. Gabriel looks really good. Tierney's, I don't know what Tierney is, but Leno's good. They have picks there.
Yeah. So. And I mean, Saka's he's dropped down to 5'3", right?
Yeah, but
it's
I don't
getting
know how
in
hurt
defensive. But yeah, that we have to know. But it's getting in defense, right, with Pepe. Like, okay, he's obviously with the record, but even like Willian he hasn't played well since like game week 2. What do they do?
The same. Yeah.
I mean, they don't have any more international breaks, so Saka, right, is clearly should be in the 11.
Yeah, he played. Nate was saying he played like full 90s for both England matches or something like that, and probably just needed a rest. So
but he's also someone to not to forget, because I mean 5'3" is really cheap. He's really good. He's fucking really good.
Yeah,
I mean, we were talking about preseason. I thought he was going to come in at 6. Yeah, and he's
came
consistently
he had the best chance to score and created the second best chance
with 10 men. 10 men.
So that's his quality right there.
He's also ranked 18th on the threat in the
What?
ICT rank for midfielders. 18th.
Okay, listen.
Yeah,
I don't want to
and he
question
hasn't played that many
ICT, but
minutes.
how could he be ranked 18th?
He's 18th. Because, threat is, according to FPL
Wait, yeah,
page.
define threat.
Yeah, let me define threat. Threat gauges players who are most likely to score goals. Most likely to score goals. That's what the threat means.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's 18th,
Well, so
most
then
likely to score goals.
That's
FPL,
a really good pick.
doing our job for us. Don't know what it means in terms of the statistical and now, like what they statistically look at, but it means that he's the 18th most likely midfielder to score goals. That's pretty
Wow,
good.
there's some bargains if you sort by threat. And Trezeguet is pretty high up there. He's only 5'3". Very threatening.
How threatening.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. He's a top 10 threat at 5'3".
Top
He's
10
more threatening
threat?
than Kevin, Bruno, Jota.
Jota, Trezeguet. Yeah. So let's talk about Trezeguet next.
It's kind of something we've been thinking about for a while. Oh my god, ICT is the best.
ICT is so good.
It's so good.
Do you think that they
Jack
make up
Harrison,
this
fifth most creative midfielder in the game.
Jack Harrison?
Yeah. The Jack Harrison.
Jack Harrison. And
Kearney, 7th. Unreal.
Kearney, 7.
Yeah.
I think that FPL, they make the things, like they make all this up. Obviously, they don't tell you what it means. It's to give us content, I think. Should we send them some thank you letters?
It'd be really funny to make the best ICT team. Like,
The
just
best
get all
ICT,
these
yeah.
guys in purely by ICT. It would just be the worst team ever created.
It'd be great.
Just tweet it at official appeal every week. ICT team scored 11 points this week. Thanks so much. ICT bargain bin. Fucking hell.
Oh my god.
All right, you ready to talk about some shit?
Yeah.
So there were all those Man City questions that you asked. It is definitely something that we need to consider. So Jack said, is it too early to triple up on City? So Jack doesn't give a fuck about how they look. He's trying to triple up. He said they dominate, but they don't really create enough. Max said, would you go with former fixtures when considering bringing in City Premium for Burnley? Cameo, at what point do we reevaluate our confidence in City? And Dadlad, do we trust City's fixture run to outscore Spurs' attack in this form? Woo. Wasn't pretty.
I need to find who's the ICT threat here. We gotta.
What, on City?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's see. Well, I don't know what this number means.
Okay, so
is that how threatening? Okay.
Not great.
I mean, yeah, they got fucking shut the hell down.
Absolutely done by Moo.
Yeah.
Moo just fucking put Pep over his little knee and smashed him around.
They just blocked every fucking shot.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Hear this. This is the kind of thing that my historical, I don't know if it's going to get in the way with it, but you give me some home bankers for City, and obviously I understand that they haven't scored more than one goal in the league since fucking October. But I see the sky blue. I look at the names, and I'm like, oof, just give me as many as I can take, baby.
Right.
Like, I want to put as many of them in and around my mouth as I can. And I don't give a shit, honestly. I mean, I don't care about the narrative. I don't care about the performances to date. I'm willing to gamble on it. Like, I'm willing to put the money in looking at, home Burnley, home Fulham, home West Brom, home Newcastle for the next 6. Like, give me as many City players as I could fit in my fucking team. And then we'll talk in January, And that's honestly, that's how I'm looking at it.
Right? It's like, so since I think this is game week 5, we were just talking about Arsenal. They have 1 goal and 4th lowest non-penalty XG. And I test City hasn't been like that much better. They create a bit more, but it's been disappointing. They only have 4 goals, right?
Yeah.
But that's where I like XG. They're the 5th highest, actually, non-penalty XG. Like, they're actually regularly creating shit and shooting a lot. City,
yeah.
5th highest since that point. So...
Yeah.
there's something there, but it's just not clicking. I don't know. It's a matter of trust and gut feeling and trusting Pep and stuff, which I do too. It's definitely my natural reaction as well to be like the probably greatest Premier League team of all time in the last 3 years or whatever is going to revert to, who
and
they
I mean,
are,
I do put a lot of stock in the striker thing, right? I mean, they haven't had a striker all year, really. They've had like 3 games with a starting striker, or 4 of 9, less than half of the games.
One was
That's
Liverpool,
a big deal.
One was Spurs, and one they scored 3 goals against Wolves.
Yeah, the first game of the season, right? So, I mean, that's a big deal, and the fixtures have been a little bit rough with all of the international breaks, right? We don't really... It's convenient to not talk about it from an FPL perspective because it's just so annoying and obnoxious, but...
It's the worst.
Every single one of their attackers travels for international breaks. There's been 3 already, right? I mean, they all go. Sterling, Kevin. I mean, we know bald fraud number 2, Roberto Martinez, flogs Kevin to death for Belgium in their friendlies. Kevin goes, like Foden goes, Mahrez goes. Every
Raz
fucking Jesus goes. Raz gets hurt. Every fucking player on the team leaves for 2 weeks and they come back and they still have a lot of new players. They have to like kind of figure out what's going on, you know? So
new system, sort of.
Yeah. No, it's actual. And Ferran is new and, the other thing too, though, with Mahrez and Bill, that's a concern more than anything because they are both horrible every fucking game I see them play, and there's no depth there. Like they need to get at least one of the 2 of them to snap in because they don't have much behind them to step in and pick up the slack. They
need Foden, and Gundo needs to be playing the other DM, and Foden needs to play with the other wing or Torres. Yeah, it needs to be. Raz was hurt, so this is an exception. But Raz, striker, and Torres or Foden seems best by far to me
when the strikers have been out. Yeah. And I mean, Dino coming back, maybe he'll come back and do some things there. But that's what you said, right? You trusting Pep, and I do. I do trust Pep, and obviously I've had Raz for fucking a long time, and it's been very bad. Yeah. But I still just look at the fixtures, and I look at the player, and I'm just like, these have 4 goals in them, like in a lot of these games to me. Yeah. And this is the same thing. I mean, same with Raz. Like, talking about Raz. He goes into these barren spells all the time. Every fucking year, he did last year. He goes through a month or 2 where he just like can barely sniff, and then all of a sudden it's like 15-pointer, 9-pointer, 17-pointer, 4-point, right? And then he just all of a sudden snaps in. So that's why I know you're like, Raz to Mo, easy transfer, right? And I'm not going to do that, but I'm just sitting with Raz, and I'm just like, he's gonna repay it. I know he's gonna repay it.
This is definitely one of the biases that we covered with Renee in the fireside chat.
But how many every single year I do this with Raz? I own him. I've owned him multiple times every year.
This is the
and
Raz
I sell
experience.
him now. Like I sell him around now, and I watch him. He's bad. He's very bad. Watching him is bad. Yeah, like I mean, his numbers, like, he's still like getting that good XG, whatever. But like, he looks bad. He's kind of injured. They're not creating, like, whatever. And you get rid, and then all of a sudden you miss all the points, and it's tough. But
long story short.
City. I fucking love City, dude. I love City.
I know you do. Long story short, we both kind of believe in City. I don't know. Maybe we're blind, but
I fully believe in City.
These fixtures,
as long as Pep's at the helm,
fixtures and
I
these
don't care.
players and Pep. Some things have to revert to some level of normalcy.
They also have
right?
been scoring 3+ in group for fun. Like every game,
Champions League?
They roll in Champions League.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck has happened. They can't do shit in the league. It's like, dude, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Fucking love City. Let's go City. Come on, guest. I know you're listening, guest.
Guest is just lubed up in oil right now, ready to go. We got some questions about defenders. Yo Bill said, how would you rank the 5-0/5-5 defender options? Looking at Diaz, Cancelo, Tellez, Reese, Cresswell, Bellerin, and then Fred Neal said, you mentioned there being good 4-5 and under options on previous pod. Who are your favorites in that bracket apart from Kilman and Villa picks? Is Holding an option at 4-4? I think people are still trying to figure out their back lines.
Yeah. this is sort of, that thing is figuring out what are the teams trying to do, right? Like which teams are the good defenses that are playing pretty tight. West Ham definitely look like they've entered into that.
West Ham are a very good
for
option.
Sure. Yeah, very good. Even though, their fixtures are a little bit mixed bag coming up. They have Manchester United, they have at Leeds, they have Chelsea, but they're playing, with fucking how many defenders? They're playing with like 7 defenders a game. Yeah. And they're not playing with Mark Noble. That's good.
Huge.
That's just good, and they're cheap as fuck. So you like that. And Palace, we're off right now. I think you could do better than looking at Palace.
You can do better, and Burnley, who they lost 1-0 to, is a better option right there.
Yeah,
and Burnley are back to doing the Burnley shit.
That's 1,000,000%. Burnley are absolutely back and raring to storm up the table to 15th place.
Raring to break up midfield and kick long balls.
15th place is waiting for Burnley. And, you have a player like Charlie Taylor going down in price after he gets 2
Did
cleans.
He actually drop today?
1,000,000% he dropped. How could he not drop after he started every game all season?
What planet are we in?
2 cleans on the bounce with bonus points in both.
8 and 7 and
absolutely
drops.
He drops. Absolutely he drops. Absolutely.
Kevin at negative 20% went up.
Rise 1,000,000%. So
it.
I mean, they play
I forgot
City.
to mention that in the My Team section. Just a little cheeky little Kev price rise when he's negative 20% on the algorithm sites that gets me out of Balbuena, who keeps it clean, and I have to get fucking Max Kielman.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Go on.
No, that's good. No, I was just with Burnley, right? Like they're at City, which isn't great, but home Everton also not great. Fixtures like blah 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 blah. But they're doing the thing again. They got me once they got me and Tarko back. They've just looked back to mid-season peak Burnley Deitch things, and
this is keeping the precog thing. This was your thing.
Yeah,
was Burnley and Palace. They keep double-digit cleans every year, bankable against the bad teams.
And this is
you
what
don't
we're seeing.
Want to start them at City, Everton, even Villa, bad. But can they clean Arsenal? Can they clean Wolves, Sheffield United, Fulham? Those are also on the horizon. Those are good shouts. Yeah.
And we see them like West Brom, Brighton, Palace, 3 cleans. Yeah, like that's what you target.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. And they have Lowton 4-4, a little bit questionable with Bardsley back. You don't know if he's going to keep his spot. He also looks not good. Taylor at 4-4 is
he's the
guy in the game, like 4-5 guy, I think.
God, imagine if he went down when I needed him.
No, it's not for you.
Couldn't go down for me.
You could double here. I mean, even 4-9 me, I don't hate that if it rotates well. Yeah. They're doing what they always do, and you don't have to go fashionable and fancy.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, they're going to be doing the cleans against the bad teams like they always do. Yeah. I mean, Pope's playing really well again. Yeah, they look really good. So what else do you see in defense here?
Well, Kilman shouldn't be ignored. I know he's
4-3.
He's not a hot, unknown, 4-0 guy anymore, but there's still a good defense. Southampton
4-3.
was always going to be a tough match. He's 4-3. Yeah. They have really bad fixtures, but again, the good ones are cleanable, and they're a good defense. Then they set up to clean, and they look good today.
No, I like that shot. I think Villa defense is an actual trap.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I
just think it's a trap. I just think it's a complete
just because
trap.
Of their style, you mean?
Yeah, I mean we've been talking about this, right? I mean they still have the really good fixtures on the horizon, and maybe they'll keep a couple. Okay,
I mean I'm starting them indefinitely. For sure.
Until Chelsea and a little after Christmas, they have on paper cleanable fixtures for the next 6. Yeah. West Ham, whatever, no Alyssa, but. When we watch the Brighton game, right? It's just what are they doing? That's when I watch them. I'm just what are they doing? They're just kind of all over the shop, and they don't park. They don't set up to defend. Right. They don't get compact. They don't get tight. They do like a lot of last ditch kind of stuff, and whether they're in the 4-4-2 or whatever 4-3-3, like Mings and Kansa, I feel like that's the kind of thing that bails them out of trouble a lot because they're both been really good, right? And Emmy's really good, and they have individual players that are very good. Yeah. But as the team, when I watch them, I just don't feel like the clean's coming. I'm concerned.
I just still think
with them.
they're good as a team. And if you look back in the games that they did clean, they're cleaning the bad teams. And that's all you can ask for. They clean Sheffield, they clean Fulham.
Arsenal.
Then they clean Leicester, then Arsenal, and then, some of these games coming up.
Yeah.
Home Newcastle, at Wolves, home Burnley, at West Brom, home Palace.
I'm still not buying. I'm not, even though they have good fixtures for the next handful, like I'm not buying that right now.
Okay.
A lot of people are stuck, right? Pretty much everyone's got Emmy, and a lot of people have a defender, right? Have a Consa or Target or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just, I'm watching West Ham, I'm watching Burnley, I'm watching these teams that are similarly priced who just fucking set up to clean,
Yeah. What about the 5 to 5-5 options that Yo Bills was talking about? Because I guess not everyone can get to Chilwell, or everyone already has Chilwell. So who's the next tier of guy that you like?
Well, we were talking about James a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous now that he's just nailed, but he is, and he's a really good pick.
Yeah,
I think he's a triple up of Chelsea is very real. Like Chilwell, Reece, or Chilwell, Mendy, and Timo or something, or even Ziyech. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think, James, it looks like I don't think we can keep saying, Aspill's going to come back in kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just playing James, and I guess they just have enough steel in midfield that he's okay playing two really attacking fullbacks, and their balance is, he's finding the balance, and he looks good. James looks good. Bellerin's been playing well too.
Bellerin's good too, and they set up
he was
super
a little
defensively.
ropey. Yeah, he was a little ropey last game, but he almost had a
against
goal,
Leeds?
right? I thought he had a couple bad defensive moments.
I remember him being really good, but maybe I'm just remembering the attacking moments because he created the best chance and everything. But I still like City too. I mean,
5-5.
We were just talking about their attack. We didn't talk about their defense, which is still good. I mean, they barely allowed anything versus Spurs, and they have a lot of good fixtures coming up. So
Cancelo,
I still like. Yeah.
I mean, Southampton. Tell us. Yeah, you think that's a pick? 5-5.
He took corners and some other stuff, and he should get some points, but
they should have. I mean, that's the thing is,
they're not as good defensively as these other teams.
They play the worst team in the league. It's just if you attack the center backs, they concede every game. I mean, they were very lucky to keep the clean sheet against West Brom. They shouldn't have done on balance. To me,
their underlines are amazing, but we know how that goes with Manchester United. So.
Southampton, they're still a good team, right? I mean, they were a little ropey today against Wolves. The goal conceded was fine, but they're still, you're talking about the Villa situation. I feel similarly about Southampton, a little more confident that they're going to keep it clean than Villa. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, in a similar fixture
in the easy matches against.
Yeah, I just feel like they have more. Nous or something they Doug Luiz and then a bunch of banter and the Barkley, we didn't talk about that, but that's an actual issue for them. But Southampton, they keep doing the same thing every week, right? I mean, they come out and they attack, but they don't. I mean, McCarthy's been good and shot stopping, and they have a lot of cleans already. They have fucking 4 cleans.
I know. I mean, they basically have the same record as Villa in terms of They cleaned who they cleaned. They cleaned Burnley, West Brom, Everton without their players, and Newcastle.
The half team. Yeah,
and then the other games they concede a fucking lot.
Yeah,
they get destroyed.
They were really close today to the clean. To be fair, I know
it would have been.
It
would have been really lucky, though. It would have been really lucky.
It would have been lucky, but. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably similar. I don't know. I don't know why I'm.
Wolves had
hating
20 shots
today with,
and
you're right. You're right.
History, but.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, that's a lot of defender stuff, but yeah, I think that's good. Anything else you want to focus on, or should I just run through some questions here?
One other thing too. I think Matip's he's not hurt.
Yeah.
5'4". He's got genuine goal threat.
If you want to talk about our weaknesses in FPL. Liverpool is just the biggest blind spot for me ever. Because I just have these nerves. Again, I think it's built up from having cheered for the worst fucking American sports teams ever for the first, 30 years of my life or whatever, 28 years of my life before I started liking Liverpool. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, nervous, Leicester, tough. Like, we're missing this, missing 6 first teamers or whatever. And just like, I mean, what was it? That was it's like not even a game. That was a training routine, like destruction.
I told you.
Yeah, I know you did. But yeah, I mean, Matip, in my head, I'm like, oh, he's going to get hurt, like rolling my eyes. I don't know. I don't trust it. But like, I just total blind spot. I just like shouldn't even have an opinion there.
The fixtures are really good. I mean, the clean sheet perspective fixtures. I mean, even Robbo, it is still a tough one with the 7-1, you know, without Trent, with the midfield, you know, but you have him. You're just obviously if you still have him, you're in the view of just holding him forever. I mean, buying him is a little bit iffy to tip that, but Brighton, Wolves, Fulham,
because you can't
Spurs,
buy him over
Palace.
Chilwell at this point, right? And then it's like, who's having Chilwell and Robbo right now?
Not a lot of teams, but you know, Brighton, Wolves, Fulham, Spurs, Palace, West Brom, Newcastle. I mean, that's a pretty good run here for cleans, and
then Southampton, Burnley too. I mean, Southampton's bad, but Burnley too.
And I mean, they honestly did set up really tight. You know, I mean, Leicester were obviously bad because they're a bad team, but they set up pretty tight, and they didn't take too many chances. And you know, Leicester had that one Barnes chance really was about it. And Matip's he's really good on corners, dude. He's like a really threatening, dangerous player on indirect set pieces.
He's really good. Period. He's a very underrated player. Yeah.
I mean, at 5'4", I feel like it's a little bit iffy to pick him over, you know, a City guy, because it's just you know, the City guys and the injury record also. But I think you have to consider him at least.
Yeah. No, he should be in this conversation for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's a good show. It's a good show. Since Fab is back and Milner shut it right back, unfortunately, there's no like Nico Williams 3-9 option.
Yeah,
that was in play a little bit, but not really. So, we actually did get a couple Liverpool questions. Might as well do them. They're just both Jota. Pete said, we were all over Foden as a 6'5" City attacker. Should we be considering Jota in over City attackers? Cheap and in much better form. And LR said, Jota, are we there yet? I feel kind of smug and right about my take on Jota whenever it was 2 or 3 weeks ago when I said, like, we should think about him like a Foden type, because anytime he starts, he looks very likely to get points. And anytime he doesn't start, he could sub on for, you know, anywhere between 0 to 30 minutes and also get points. And fuck, he's so good. He's so good. Like, he's becoming undroppable, you know? And they've already started 1 or 2 games, I think 2 with one in the league, 1 in the Champions League, of all 4 guys, you know? So I think he is a real option and should be considered how we thought of Jota before the season started, you know?
Yeah, good player, good pick. I don't know. I don't, honestly don't have much there. I don't. He doesn't do much for me in this current situation. But
yeah,
you know, 6'6"
scores tons of points.
Yeah, 6'6", fine. You know, go for it. I just don't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not there. Honestly, I'm not really there with Jota. I'm not sure why exactly. Because I mean, you know, I've watched every single Liverpool game all season.
Yeah.
And yeah, he looks good. You know, he's just a good player. But I don't know. I don't have anything good.
A lover scorned.
Yeah.
Former Jota.
Yeah, I mean, I started.
Former
maybe
Wolves
that's
Jota
it.
owner.
I mean, I started with him in my fucking Game Week 1 team, and
yeah.
He gets bombed out and transferred, and I have to, you know, tail between my legs. You know, obviously I love the player. I fucking started the game with him. He was like 1% owned. No one had him, you know. So, but the thing on the Liverpool team still is, you know, I still feel like their best team is without him. You know, to me, my first choice 11 is that 4-3-3, and he's just on the bench. So, you know, I know they have a lot of really bad fixtures, and they have a lot of games, period. So they're going to be doing the minutes, rotation, the blah, 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 the things, you know. So, you know, 6'6", it's fine.
And
fine
he kind of played mid. Like, it was, we talked about this with Arsenal, right? Like, the difference between, like, a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that much.
Yeah.
And, like,
the thing I guess also that I'm thinking about too is that, you know, the defense is bad, right? They're playing with, you know, bubblegum over things that they need. Everyone's hurt and shit. So is he Mo's back next week, right? Is he really going to be running out these 4 actual uber attackers where, okay, Bob drops in him on his good defensive work rate, but is he going to put them up with fucking 2 midfielders in front of, the makeshift defense? I don't see that. I don't see that.
I think we have evidence that Liverpool and City have similar problems, and Pep's
it's all out attack.
Well, they have similar problems, yeah, but the solutions are exact opposite, right? Pep's solution is go ultra conservative and control the game and try and just 1-0 or 2-0 every game. And Klopp's approach is just we're going to score 3 or 4 every game.
If that's the case, then yeah, Jota's great.
Yeah. That's what it seems like to me.
I'm still reticent about him, but
yeah, it's fine.
Maybe maybe it's just this. I mean, this has definitely been a bandwagon taking off this week, right? He scored a goal against Leicester. He should have had at least an assist and or a goal more, right? Yeah. I mean, he was in and around a lot more than just the goal he scored. So, I mean, the bandwagon's certainly taking off, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the thing to do. Fuck. What do you? I mean, I don't know. I honestly haven't thought that much about it until right now.
I mean, we should talk about him in perspective with the other guys, right? I would still take Jack over him. Yeah. Fit Zaha playing striker, nailed every game. I would still take over him. And then you get into the little more like the assist guys who like James, Ziyech. Who else is even in there? And I don't know. It just seems like, all right, well, he's going to get a lot of 8 and 9 pointers that are really valuable. He's also going to get some 1-pointers for just subbing on for 10 minutes or whatever. But he seems like you can kind of hold him long term and he'll just return a lot of points. That's what it seems like to me.
I feel like I need a Mo or Mane actual injury before I want him.
Well, that's like almost different. That like Mo or Mane got injured, I feel like Jota would be like emergency transfer in. Like I'd be freaking out to get him. That's like a different scenario. I think he can be a glue guy hold for the whole season with the amount of rotation and minutes that he's been playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's played 400 minutes and 7 matches,
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, he has 2 goals off the bench in 3 of his bench appearances, which is definitely not sustainable.
It's not, but this is what we were saying with Mahrez and Foden,
it's just flattering. Right? I feel like it's just flattery. It's a little bit flattering. This is exactly
what we were saying with Mahrez and Foden.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. He played in a conservative 3-5-2, and now he's on Liverpool. It's like,
okay, all right. So it's fine pick.
Yeah, he's good. A couple Leicester questions actually. So Neil said thoughts on Leicester. What?
You can take him.
Thoughts on Leicester defenders. Castagna seems close to fit. Walsh's fave from last season. Pereira should be back in the next few weeks. Do we wait and see or try and get on them before everyone else? And then G Bab said Leicester was a shell of a team versus Pool, but lots of players coming back fit. Positive impact on Vardy, or does it even matter with him in the upcoming fixtures? So, really short term, they have really, really good fixtures. They have home Fulham, at Sheffield, home Brighton, home Everton, who just concede minimum 2 goals per game. Yeah, the defense has been good, but yeah, I mean, guys are supposed to be back fit soon. I wouldn't jump on like a Castagna. He's like too expensive for me to get before he actually starts a game, But there's like a Fofana at 5-0 who looks good and is good on bones and stuff like that. It's interesting. I think they'll keep some cleans. The way they play, they usually beat up on bad teams. And then, yeah, I mean, Derek just wildcarded last week, and I was the one promoting Vardy on him. I mean, Vardy could have had a goal and an assist against Liverpool. That was obviously not the reason to get him, but he usually beats up on these bad teams, and I think they're going to score goals against the bad teams like they usually do. So, yeah, I think short term you want them, but then they have like Spurs, United, Palace, Newcastle, Chelsea, Southampton. That's not so good. I don't like them against good teams. So that's basically it for Leicester. You want to add anything?
Nope.
All right, let's see. Questions or something else?
No, yeah. We have more. I mean, what are we're running at 45 or so?
Yeah, we're good. There's not that many questions.
Okay.
Jack said, "Is Man United defense an option with Juan and Tellez to go options to go to options?" I mean, so we kind of mentioned Tellez.
No,
I mean,
the center. No, I don't understand it. You know, it's just because
the thing is, I think they're okay, but I think there's better options just across the board. You know what I mean? Does that even make sense?
I don't think they're okay. I think they're bad. Like, I think that the center backs, every single game, they give up big chances. Like, every game. And I know, okay, a lot of teams do, but West Brom are horrible, and they were down their throats. I mean, they should have scored. You know, they should have scored.
And the pen.
Yeah, and the pen that was given and the not given. It's just, what have they shown this season that they're a good defense? Like, I haven't seen an actual single shred of it. You know, they're just they're imbalanced and they're just a mess. I don't really see it. You know, I don't see it.
I think it's banking on, you know, last year they kept a decent amount of cleans, good underlying. They got Shaw out of the team, which is a massive upgrade.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's huge. And they have, you know, some good fixtures, sort of.
There's so many other teams. Like,
that's Burnley, what I was saying.
Yeah,
it's like, I think they're fine, you know, whatever. But, like, everyone else that we just mentioned is better.
Yeah, and they all have players that are similarly or cheaper priced, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The only one is really Tellez, because if he just, like, takes all these corners and frees and all that shit and just, like, get some random cheeky assists like that, which he probably will, then that's pretty good. But
5-5, I don't know.
Yeah.
He'd have to be 5.
Yeah. Barrick said, Leeds have been by far the toughest team for me to read this season. How do you rate their assets? Attack, defense, both, neither. Yeah. Are they fixture proof considering their unchanging aggressive style? Yeah,
I mean, this is the thing. You know, if you were to tell me I would say this during the season before the game week 1, I would have shot you in the face. But not owning Bamford just seems actually diabolical to me.
It's insane.
It's not smart to not own him. Watching them play every game, he gets insane chances every game. Like, you say what you want about his finishing or like blah, 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 whatever. His movement is fantastic. You know, you watch him, how he moves around the box is really good. And all they do is flood men forward. And his engine it doesn't run out.
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, it's like, it's not even an engine. Yeah, he's solar powered.
Yeah.
He just flies around.
Solar power. The fixtures aren't good on paper, but we talked about this last part. We've been talking about this, right? Is that the fixtures don't really matter for Leeds because they turn every game upside down and they just fucking attack. And at 6-1, he's such a good pick.
The reason I've been doing all my stats on this episode from Game Week 5 is because that's after the first international break. And that's after all of the, like, ridiculous, insane results. It's, like, sort of returned to normalcy, I think, after that break of, like, a normal league with good teams and bad teams and in between. And Leeds are third in non-penalty XG since that time, behind Chelsea and then Liverpool. And number 1 in the entire fucking league and non-penalty XG per 90 is Bamford. Number 1 entire league.
And
he's a monster.
Whatever, you know, and you know, I'm not monster. A big, yeah. I mean, I'm not like a big stats person, me, and we watch a lot of the games, right? Watching the games, it's like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me even 1%.
Not at all. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're an under XG finisher if you fucking destroy the entire league and XG. You know what I mean? It's like he just gets,
and like
it's crazy.
You know, we're talking about like City and this and that is like. Not owning I mean, even watching them against Arsenal, right? It's like he could have braced easily in that game.
Easily. And the post is the only reason he didn't. Not the keeper and not anything else.
Yeah. And it feels like we say that every week.
Yeah.
He, like against Palace, right? We had the offsides and he did score. Like he could have braced that game, right? It's getting a little bit insane there with the, and he's 6'1" is so fucking cheap.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I look at my team, you know, I'm like, oh, Raz, like, ugh, like, and I have Mane, I'm like, oh my God, he's been fucking horrible. And, you know, but I'm still looking, I'm like, how do I not have Bamford?
How do neither of us have Bamford?
Yeah, Bamford's good. I mean, the attack's good. The defense is dog. The defense is absolutely terrible. I think owning no defenders is genius. I have Dallas. I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
But I you know, Bamford just, it looks, this team, FPL is just Bamford and no one else. No one else matters. You know, Meslier, okay, maybe if you're just trying to be flair and fun.
He's the entire linchpin of everything. Everyone else is an interchangeable cog in like Bielsa's mad fucking Rube Goldberg machine, and Bamf just stands alone. It's like everything goes in. He's like their DCL. It's like actually very similar, right?
Yes.
Everything just funnels, and he's fantastic literally every game.
Yeah, and it's a goal or an assist. Like if they score, he's gonna be doing it.
Yeah, I wonder what his goal involvement is. It's probably fucking ridiculous.
Fucking Bamford, dude. Never in my life would I have thought this. And we were talking about this too behind, you know, we were watching the game and Nate was like,
Nate hates Bamford.
He's like, I'm still really not sold on Bamford. And I mean, did you need what before the season, right? We're talking about Bamford. Like, are you actually joking? Like that this is a player? He's not a player.
Oh yeah.
But when we don't watch the championship, so we don't really know what he did last year, right? And then this year we watch him, and we've watched like 7 or 8 Leeds games this season, and every single game he's been fantastic. Yeah, you have to adjust to what you're seeing, and he's good. He's just a good player. You know, he's fucking a good player. And
the only 2 forwards with higher fantasy goal involvement are Kane and Callum. Callum because Newcastle just don't score goals. So, you know, that's
doesn't
easy.
Matter.
Kane has been Kane this year. And just Bamford. Yeah, it's like
Bamford.
Fucking hell.
Need to get Bamford somehow.
Maybe I'll Kane to Bamford and someone to Mo this week for another hit.
Seems good to me. We'll get there.
-8 every week until I get a green arrow.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it sounds like a fun game. It's like a playoff beard. Chester said, thoughts on James? Seems to be on the periphery last few games, so.
He was fucking great against Fulham, and then he ran out of gas and got subbed, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he was incredible. If you watch the game, he was incredible. You gotta watch the fucking tape, but he didn't actually create much or shoot much. He had one decent scoring chance, but he was like the key cog to their attack, and hockey assisted both goals, so.
Leeds, Burnley, you throw them out there for those two, and then you reassess. I think.
Yeah. At least Leeds.
Yeah, but even Burnley, like Burnley's that's a James game. You know, that's the game where it's like, okay, they got the fucking shit house. Yeah. So I think if you have him, you give him those two, but you're probably not buying.
Yeah, you're not buying.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And then Liam, last question: would you rather cap against Fulham or cap against Leeds?
Leeds,
we should just. Who's the best cap against team?
Leeds. I think it's Leeds, like by a lot. You know, I think if you're a good team, when Leeds play a good team, that's the fixture I want because.
Right. I mean, even against 10-man Arsenal, they had 2 good scoring moments.
Yeah. Their best scoring chances came against like when they were down. But this is the thing: is like we talked about. With like Spurs, right? I mean, how in the actual fuck could we recommend not selling Son when they have such a bad fixture? Right? It's like, okay,
yeah, we won that battle.
Just because the team is playing a bad, if good team is playing bad team and they have 65-70% possession, doesn't mean that their players are going to have better chances for FPL points than when the team has 30% possession and they're playing on the counter. Like, okay, maybe the volume is higher, but the quality is lower. So, you know, that's
depending on the style of the team.
Yeah. Depending on this, but in general, right? Like, you know, that's a pendulum that swings and a spectrum that you have to judge based on the context. But when you look at Leeds, right, insane. Like, they're just an insane team every single game week. It doesn't matter if they're playing West Brom or Fulham or if they're playing fucking Liverpool or City. They spread it out, they run the whole time, and they are not compact. And they push play. They have bad center backs. And you know, they're ready to ship 5 in any game. And that's what I see, you know, that's the game that's dependable, right? That's a dependable game that I know that when the good team plays, Leeds are going to play. They're not going to they're not going to be like West Brom against Manchester United. They're not going to sit back with
they're not going to Ben
4-5-1.
Spend 10 minutes taking goal kicks. Like they're trying to press and counter and move the ball. Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I mean, those are the things, and it's similar to Southampton.
That's the comp. Look at us. Look at us.
You're bad.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. They're gonna present. You're gonna have opportunities. Yes. It depends on the players, the quality, the form, whatever. If they're gonna take their chances or not. Yeah. And because it's not like neither team really concedes that many chances because they're good teams, but they will concede chances no matter what by nature of their play style. And that's how the manager sets up. It's not even a negative thing. Yeah. So yeah. I see what you're saying, and I love it.
I also think like Brighton are like a low key in that area as well as Southampton you mentioned, because you know, when I see a team who's like kind of not good enough and they try and play the whole game, those are the teams that, you know, the Cities and the Liverpools fucking can rip apart and score 7 against. But when they play West Brom or they play fucking Newcastle and Burnley, who just park with 4-5-1 the whole game, 2 deep banks, you know, they're scoring 2 at best, right?
Yeah, like sometimes it's 5, but things have to like getting an early goal and a meltdown and fucking Drinkwater needs to play for Burnley and stuff.
Yeah. And you know, or like a Sheffield United, you know, and sometimes sure you look at West Brom and the players are individually bad. So even though they set up like that, they still ship 3 and like, okay, cool. Yeah. But in general, so I think that's
there's a stat called PPDA. It's passes allowed per defensive action in the opposition half. So it's
is that on the FPL page with threat and ICT and
the reason I'm bringing it up is it's basically the pressing stat. The lower number, the more you press because you don't allow passes without making a defensive action.
Okay.
Top 3 teams in the league: Leeds, Southampton, Brighton.
There we go.
Boom. Leeds, by the way, by far first. Like Southampton were number 1 in the league last season, but just Ralph being Ralph and they're crazy, and Bielsa's just like, no, you're not crazy, I'm fucking crazy. Look at me, I'm the captain now. So it's just like there we go. Wow, that was a lot. We did a good job, I think. Let's go to our team.
Is this a good pod?
I think it is.
I don't think we've done a good one in at least a month.
Well, Friday Night Live.
Every single one of those are all good. Fucking amazing. But I'm saying the real pod.
Well, we haven't felt good, but I feel good this episode. Yeah,
I feel
for
good.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
Let's go to our teams and transfers and captains and stuff. I just wanted to immediately go to caps because of what we were just talking about. Also, G. Babinez's cap question is a Rashford cap versus Southampton crazy? They play high defense and feel like Rashford could do what Timo did to them. I've been saying to you for a fucking week now that I've been waiting to captain Bruno.
Yeah. So again, Rashford's bad. He's not a good player.
I don't agree
you
with
shouldn't
this.
Own him, and you shouldn't ever captain him.
That's
my take on Rashford. I think he's bad. I think he's fucking bad. I think he's bad.
He's not bad, but
it's bad.
Yes, I've been sleeper waiting for this fixture, not captain in the West Brom fixture, which, I mean, Bruno deserved an assist. That pen shit, I don't even know, but the Southampton is the perfect Manchester United fixture. They are only good and explosive when the other team presses and gives them space on the counter, and Southampton exclusively do that. So that's. Yes, big yes to that.
I like the Bruno shout there, but I also do see a world where Southampton are better. They're just an actual better team. Obviously, they have a manager. Manchester United do not have a manager.
Yeah, it's huge.
I could just see Southampton just beating the fuck out of them.
I mean, that's the thing that I don't care about is like if Southampton score 4, they score 4.
Yeah.
United, like we just said, United are still going to get chances.
Okay.
You know, Bruno's still going to be finding Tony, Rash, himself, whatever.
No, and
one-on-one.
Yeah. No, and number one, creativity.
Who? Don't tell me it's Bruno. Oh, my.
And this, just to be clear,
Come on!
Creativity, it assesses player performance in terms of producing goal-scoring opportunities for other players.
Yeah, I mean, I have the armband on him right now.
That's what you want.
I have the armband on him.
If the goal-scoring opportunities for other players is down to Bruno, number one.
This is it. This is the Bruno picture. Hopefully everyone captains like
and this is
Raz,
this is the other
and
thing.
I get to sneak in Bruno.
Yeah, this is the other thing that's going to differentiate us from the field is that we are taking into account. I mean, FPL they create the game, right? Yeah. They know what they're doing. Yeah. They come up with the rules. They're fantastic. They
Flawless.
let us know, how to play. They tell us what to do. We're actually putting some stock into their extra level statistics. The ICT ranks, I'm not hearing that in any other podcast. I'm not reading that on any other expert level FPL analysis.
Yeah, I listen to so many FPL podcasts and I just...
We're breaking the mold. And I know everyone else is going to start talking about it more because it's such a good... he's number one on creativity.
Yeah.
Producing goal-scoring opportunities for other players. I don't need to look at XA. I don't need to know what that is. If you know what creativity is on the fucking page,
if you can
and
read,
he's one,
then
if
you know.
you can read and you know the sequential order of numbers, then that's it. That's it. You're welcome.
Is Bamford number one in threat? Actual question. Probably is. What a god. Anyway, so yeah, that's my captain take. I'm very excited about this. Okay, I mean 3 is pretty good for 6-1.
3's pretty good.
So that's my cap. I'm also interested in Everton versus Leeds.
Yeah, I mean that's me. I'm on DCL. I don't have Bruno. I'm on DCL 1,000,000% this weekend.
Yeah, that's the 2 teams we just talked about doing all the pressing, leaving all the space. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, DCL's so good.
He's a good player.
I don't understand how he gets so many chances from like 2 feet from goal.
Yeah.
Like it's exclusive to him. Like there's a lot of very good players in the world and in the Premier League. But none of them get consistent chances from like a foot away, a foot out.
Yeah,
on the line.
It's a lot of like also low crosses too. Is that he makes that run to get in front of the marker like a lot, right? That's what he does. And he tries to do a little cheeky diag, like when it comes to feet that he just redirects or deflects. Yeah,
it's like it's like a Giroud run, sort of. Arsenal days Giroud.
Yeah, he knows where to go. He's just a genius. He's a good player.
Great stuff. What about your team? What transfers are you looking at?
I mean, we have a lot of games this weekend coming, but I'm either I don't have Mo, which is now, a new problem, but I'm thinking about saving again. I guess this is like a fucking broken record on the Monday pod is I'm always
saving. Yeah, you're always saving.
Merchant. But defense is a little bit problematic. I have some bad fixtures in the defense with Lamptey, red flag banned. So, I could spaff my money on Cancelo and get him in for Dallas.
Can you get Chilwell?
No, I'd have to take a hit if I went Chilwell. I don't care. I'm happy enough to root against Chilwell, with Bruno and just keep plummeting. It's fine.
Come on, dude. Don't give up on me now.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, My team's, it looks okay. I honestly, I really want Bamford. I feel like that's my most urgent thing is I want to get Bamford in. Is my biggest issue right now, and I don't
thing that we don't have him. It's the actual stupidest thing.
I just I don't also know who to get rid of. Jack, Mane, Kevin, Raz, and Son. I'm
Raz.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. So it's kind of like Mane.
You like present the options, and I'm like, this one, and you're like, well, that one's off the table.
Yeah,
but
that's silly. So like my Mane is questionable, but I want Mo. I want Bam. So I don't know. I have to think about it. I hope someone just gets fucking killed this week, so I don't have to think about it, and that makes my decision.
Champions League injury, and you're good to go.
Annihilation of someone on my team, so I don't have to think about it. But I could save. I could do a hit. I could, we'll have to tune in on the My Life pod, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of in a similar boat. I think I probably should save, but I also want Mo. I also want Bamford. But my guys are basically all good. My 11 is good. My bench is 2 non-playing players in Zambo, which isn't good, but saving is probably best for me. I'll probably end up saving because it's just smart. Yeah. Like, I have a good cap. I have a good team. Like, I don't need to do anything. I don't have Bamford, but yeah.
I just love saving, It feels good when you save. Even when I get a red arrow.
Yeah.
You save, you're like, it doesn't matter. I'm so smart. I saved.
Yeah. No, it's like you're banking all this value to later go up.
Yeah. And then, the value doesn't matter when your players are minus 20 to rise and they rise anyway. You're like, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fucking game.
Yeah, good game.
There are no Patreon Inislaps, no new signups this week. First week of the season. Early. It came early this year. Christmas came early.
First week of the season, no signups. Yeah. And I'm sure people are just deleting left and right. We're like, holy shit, we're hemorrhaging.
Probably.
So do we need to start getting Manscaped ads and shit? It looks like we're heading that way.
We probably need to start getting good players, but I don't. If that's what you're here for, you've come to the wrong pod.
Good players. I was talking about making money. Are you talking about your team?
Yeah, I mean, like doing well in FPL.
I mean, that's not possible though. You're
no, I mean, we could get Chilwell and Bamford and Captain Bruno and like that kind of shit.
There are other pods for that.
We choose not to. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah. But we could also sell fucking ball hair ads and waxing ads for...
Right. Yeah, we could look into that.
So as we get worse and more people delete their things, then our X sponsorship chances go up.
Yeah, actual.
Okay.
Direct correlation.
All right.
That's basically it, dude. Any last words?
That was a good to be.
Check those out at fmlfl.com. Follow us on Twitter at fmlfl, sports page.com/fmlfl. Subscribe, rate, review, cheer.